A grapevine represents a charitable family, as it is a tree that produces sweet grapes or loving works. A grape branch represents a helper. A grape represents loving work. Grape juice represents a loving soul. The grapevine, except to climb up a tree, cannot bear much fruit, because it is cast upon the ground and will decay and be corrupted. But when the vine grows up into a strong tree and spreads, it beareth much fruit, both of itself and from the tree. In the same way, a wealthy family offering support can help a charity to produce loving works. A grapevine is composed of very little carbon or selfishness. All the energy it receives goes into producing sweet fruit or loving works. From John 15:1. Now this is Jesus speaking. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit he pruneth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine. No more can ye, except ye abide in me. A winepress represents a petition. It is a group of Christians asking or pleading God to intervene and bring about justice. Revelation 14:19. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of God. Lamentations 1:15. He has called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord has trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a winepress. Glass represents lawful soul. Glass bottle represents a lawful person. It is colorless, odorless, and tasteless. Glass is made by mixing water or soul and sand, which represents broken law, together. The mixture is then heated to melt and crystallize it into glass. Grape juice, or wine, represents loving soul, as it is sweet. There are two Hebrew words that both have been translated into the King James Bible to mean wine, and they are both totally different, as I will explain. The first word is tirosh. This word is translated into wine, but it refers to the initial squeezing of juice from the grape and is rarely used of fermented wine. From Deuteronomy 7:13, and he will love thee, and bless thee, and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb, and the fruit of thy land, thy corn, and thy wine. Yeast, or leaven, represents hypocrisy. Yeast causes fermentation, a state of agitation or of turbulent change. To be in an agitated state is to be in a state of confusion. Yeast creates carbon dioxide, or selfish spirit. From Luke 12:1, he began to say unto his disciples first of all, Beware ye of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Fermented grape juice represents perverse soul, as it is grape juice with yeast added, yeast representing hypocrisy. Wine comes in one of two colors, red, which represents wrath, and white, which represents pure. The Hebrew word for fermented grape juice is yayin. This word has also been translated into the King James Bible to simply mean wine. So you have tirosh, which means fresh grape juice, which has been translated into wine, and yayin, which means alcoholic grape juice, which has been translated into wine. This is clearly wrong. In most contents we will see that it refers to clearly alcoholic drink. From Genesis 9:21, and he drank of the wine, yayin, and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. Grape wine vinegar represents resentful soul. The fermentation of vinegar is done with bacteria and not yeast, and it yields volatile fatty acids. From Matthew 27:34, they gave him, Jesus, vinegar to drink mingled with gall. Gall is bitter, so it represents some sort of hate. And when he had tasted thereof, he would not drink. Honey represents pride. Honey comes from the flower, which is the crown of pride. From Proverbs 25:27, it is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. From Proverbs 16:18, pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. From Proverbs 25:27, the full soul loatheth a honeycomb, but to the hungry soul every bitter thing is sweet. Milk represents glory. Honey and milk represents pride and glory. Milk is white, which means pure, sweet, which is loving, and mostly comprised of water or soul. From Isaiah 66:11, that ye may suck and be satisfied with the breasts of her consolations, that ye may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. Cheese represents ingloriousness, or dishonor. Cheese is coagulated in milk by an acid, traditionally by vinegar. The solids are separated, pressed, then salted. From Job 10:8, remember that you molded me like clay, which means obedience. Will you now turn me to dust, or defiance again? Did you not pour me out like milk, or glory, and curdle me like cheese? Hay or straw represents an ungodly person. Straw is the dry stalks of cereal plants after the grain and chaff has been removed. From Isaiah 5:24, therefore as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts. Wheat represents a godly person. From Luke 22:31, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may shift you as wheat. From Matthew 13:30, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Chaff represents empty works. Grains represent godly works. Chaff is the dry, scaly, protective casings of cereal grains. A grain is a fruit with a single seed fused. From Psalms 1:4, the ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. A millstone represents a hearing. A stone represents a doctrine. A circle is a perfect shape. So it is a circle of stone that presses against people's works or their grains, and sound is produced. From Deuteronomy 31:11, thou shalt read this law before all Israel in their hearing. From Revelation 18:21, and a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone, and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down. From Luke 20:18, whosoever shall fall upon that stone or doctrine shall be broken, but on whoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. Bread in a furnace represents godly works on trial. Trial by fire. Bread is made of wheat flour, which is godly works, plus water, which means soul. The bread is then cooked by fire, or desire, in a furnace. Furnace representing a trial. Remember that yeast represents hypocrisy. From 1 Corinthians 5:6, your glorifying is not good. Know ye not that a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump? Purge out therefore the old leaven, that ye may be a new lump, as ye are unleavened. For even Christ our Passover is sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast. Not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread, which means godly works, of sincerity and truth. So leavened bread represents trialed, hypocritical godly works. Yeast, or hypocrisy, in bread creates carbon dioxide, or selfish spirit. Unleavened bread represents trialed, innocent godly works. Unleavened bread will be enjoyed at the wedding feast of Jesus. Oil represents grace. Grace meaning thanks. Oil rises to the top of water or soul. From Psalms 45:7, Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Therefore God thy God has anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. From Ezekiel 16:9, Then washed I thee with water. Yea, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee, and I anointed thee with oil.